going that slow because all that food is there. So you just got to look after it. Because I don't want soup in the back of my head. What are you going to do?
I'll put that in the back of your head.
Kleines Dorf am Mittelmeer. Du verliebst dich immer.
Oh, first day back at work. I'm trying to remain positive, but it's always hard the first day back. Anyway, and I also noticed that the sun is taking a lot longer to come up, which means winter is coming. Which reminds me, when the fuck is the next episode of Game of Thrones coming out? The one saving grace with all of this though is I get to ride my bike to work, which is pretty fucking sick.
Ein Jahr später Berlin, der erste Schnee. Du merkst es nicht ein.
You know how you do shit when you get older that you wouldn't normally do in, let's say, 10 years ago or when you were younger? Well, this is a classic example. Like, it's bad enough putting an iPhone on your bike, but an iPhone 6S Plus? Mate, I might as well fucking put an iPad.
Hast du Papierkram und du hast vom Morbid nach Wedding, um Geld ranzuholen. 4 Kinder und die Werkstatt im Casino.
Here we go, watch this, watch this, watch this. Thanks, buddy. Oh well, they didn't come out in front of me.
Verlierst du falsche Freunde und Mama trennen sich von dir. Doch ich lieb dich für alles. Alles was.
Alright, arrived at work. This other hospital I'm working at has a sweet cage set up as well. So you can lock your bike up. It's fucking awesome, man. That's how all workplaces should be, you know? So that you can just leave your bike out, ride your bike to work, and you don't have to worry about that shit. But the clouds look amazing. It looks beautiful weather, right? Nah. There's these massive, massive rain clouds coming in. I don't know how far away they are, but they're not far. Check this shit out. So I better get my ass hauling. Beautiful clear sky. Absolutely horrendous.
Ich bleib mit dir bis morgen wach, bis du wieder schlafen kannst.
If I can beat anorexia, I can beat this.
Du bist einfach nie angekommen, aber ich bleib mit dir bis morgen wach, bis du wieder.
I mean, it literally looks like a tsunami, like a massive tidal wave. Oh, there's alarms going off, it's crazy.
Schlafen kannst. Du bist einfach nie angekommen.
Alright, I'm halfway home. I can feel the wind gusts and stuff picking up, and I reckon I'm probably going to get wet. But I'm going to put this camera away very soon and just absolutely bury myself to get home. I've got 3/4 away home, maybe 10-15 minutes to get home, but the clouds have wrapped around Melbourne and now it is gonna piss down all on my head, which doesn't matter now because I've gone so hard that I'm sweating like an old mole, so that's a good thing. And my bag's waterproof, which has my laptop. So, I just need to protect the camera. Chat to you guys when I get home. Literally, I've been home 10 minutes. Hear that? Absolutely pissing down. Just had a shower, just made it home in time, and it's a thunderstorm right now. Awesome, I love thunderstorms. I love that smell too. What do you reckon, Hanny? Cool story. So I just thought I'd do a quick Q&A while I'm driving around with Hanny. Adam sent me an email saying he has a Bianchi Alta XR2, good choice Adam, and wants to ride it for long hauls, but was curious about my bag setup. So I carried a handlebar bag, a frame bag. It was sort of not a full frame bag as such, but it was sort of like that half frame bag, and then a saddle bag. The saddle bag is, they're all three items were Revelate Designs bags. I'll put the link in the description below, but they're awesome bags. I absolutely loved them. Probably the biggest lesson I learned out of lugging stuff was don't carry too much stuff in the backpack. Put everything light in the backpack and put all the heavy stuff on the bike, and push all the heavy stuff forward. So I put all the heavy gear in my handlebar bag. And your handlebar bag, you can get them in small, medium and large sizes. So I recommend getting them in a medium. I mean, I've got 44 centimeter center to center handlebars, so I could fit quite a wide bag in there, but it's going to be completely dependent on your handlebar width. Okay, so if you've got a 42 centimeter, then I'd probably recommend getting a medium or a small, and if you've got 44s, you can fit a large in there. But look, to be honest with you, you don't want to put too much stuff in that handlebar bag, because what happens is it gets too wide, and then you can't put your hands around the levers, the brake levers. So you want to keep the bag quite narrow, and probably a medium size is sufficient. Also, one thing I'd mention with the frame bag is you don't want a full frame bag, because you still want to put water bottles in your bike. And I felt that the frame bag that I was using, it's sort of like it's only a couple of inches deep from the top tube, and there's still room to put 2 water bottles in. That's sort of ideally what you want, because your water bottles are critical, especially on those long haul trips. As I said, with the handlebar bag, you don't want it too big because you don't want it too wide, so you don't want to stock too much stuff in there, but you want to put your heavy stuff in there, because you tend not to feel the weight in the front of the bike so much. And you still want access to your hoods, and definitely a harness that goes around the bag. You want something to really secure that bag to the handlebars, because if it droops down and touches your front tire, which I found was happening a little bit, it was quite close at times, about an inch or 2 or 3 centimeters off the actual tire. You don't want that. That's critical, okay? Because if the tire starts rubbing on the bag, it'll wear through and damage your goods inside the bag. I find that, you know, particularly in Australia, you tend not to need to carry all the camping gear and the tent and the bivvy and all that stuff, because at the end of the day, you can always find accommodation. And you know what? If you can't find accommodation, just fucking go to sleep in the bushes, man, or something like that. It's not so... like, I don't know, I don't reckon you need to carry that stuff. Particularly cooking gear, I don't reckon you need to carry cooking gear at all. The reason you don't need to carry cooking gear is if you want something cooked, you can generally call into a town and get it. Otherwise, just eat raw food or fruit. Rowan Douglas asks, when you first got back from CrossFit, what grade did you go into? I think I went back to B grade. I was in A grade, but in Melbourne, it's very difficult to swap between the grades. A lot of the clubs don't like you moving between grades, basically because as an A grader can come back to B grade and sandbag and just win some races, and they don't like B graders to go up to A grade unless you've actually proven that you can win a few races. So I raced B grade for ages. I won several races, placed a few times, and they put me up to A grade, and ever since I've been in A grade, I've been begging for them to put me back in a B grade. Stuart asked me if I knew Chris Froome was in that little group of Sky Riders going up Nortons, would I have been able to stay a little bit longer? And the answer to that is no. I was suffering. I mean, the mere fact that Durian Rider was there, and Durian Rider basically got me into veganism and got me into doing YouTube videos. So the fact that he was sitting next to me, I was pretty stoked by that alone. I just wanted to hang out with him so I could ride up and have a chat with him at the top. And Geraint Thomas, you know, that was pretty cool. I mean, it was pretty cool being with those guys. But yeah, look, I was suffering, which leads me to my next question. Someone asked me on YouTube, why am I so unfit at the moment? It's because I've been eating a lot of shit fatty food, and I haven't been training anywhere near as much as what I used to. And but look, it's mainly diet. Look, you can't train away a shit diet, right? You have to eat well. That's the bottom line. And training sort of complements a good diet. So I just need to get my diet back on track. Jade asked me, what's your experience flying with a cardboard box for the bike? Honestly, I have never had a problem with a cardboard box, right? And I have flown back in the early days, in my 20s and that, I used to go fly over to a lot of races. I used to fly around the world with my bike. And I can honestly say, flying with a cardboard box is awesome, because the cardboard box is light, and then you can pile all your shit and your helmet and your boots and all your kit and everything in that box, and it doesn't weigh too much collectively. Whereas if you have a bike bag or a hard case cover bike bag, they weigh a lot to start with. So when you start putting bikes and things in, then you start going into that realm of excess baggage. So yeah, definitely cardboard boxes are a great way to go, but you just have to modify the bike more. So you have to take the seat out or put it down. And I tend to take the seat out because I don't want to scratch the actual seat post. So I take the seat out, but I always do up the seat post clamp so that it doesn't come loose. All right, that was a cheeky little question and answer session. Pretty quiet vlog for today. I had to work all day and work my ass off basically, but I hope you enjoyed it. It is what it is, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.